Welcome back, Tennessee fans, for another season of Tennessee Fan Talk. This is our third season. I don't know if you realize that. Third of the Fan Talk series, of course, started out trying to cover all of the SEC, but you know what? There's another show for that. What's it called? That SEC podcast.
It's the Paul Feinbaum show.
Yeah. We'll get a link to those guys down below. Maybe they can reciprocate the shout out. How are we different? I get this asked all the time, Duke. Why listen to you? Why join in on your show? And I give them the same answer every time, right? It's because we want fans on this show. It's not about special guest this guy, special guest that guy.
Nope.
Although we consider all of our guests special. Hey, we're from Tennessee. We want you in. We want to talk to you. You don't have to be a Tennessee fan.
Missouri.
You could be a Missouri fan.
Texas A&M. University of, West, whatever, what is it? University of West Louisiana Monroe, you know what I'm saying? The Mud Dogs. Mud Dogs. You know what happens when Bobby Boucher shows up at the halftime at the Bourbon Bowl? The Mud Dogs win.
Bottom line, Mud Dogs win the Bourbon Bowl.
Yep, that's right.
We're going to kick off our preseason, and unlike a lot of people, we didn't do a way too early preseason. We are 42 days or so. We're going to go through the rundown right here, post it up on the screen there for you, how we're going to go in order. First off, the SEC expansion and its consequences. The Pac-12 losing 2.
The only 2.
Pruitt's investigation and how it is going along for him from his
NCAA. Must have some stock in McDonald's.
The NIL, just a little bit of the NIL and some funny tidbits on that. And then we will go around the SEC. And leading up to the season, we have just enough weeks so that we can talk about 2 additional teams in that around the SEC and, touch base with our predictions on how they will finish. Of course, it's that way too early. We won't really know until the first week or 2 how teams are looking. I know we're definitely hearing a lot of hype about Tennessee.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there. And not a lot of hype about some other teams.
Florida.
We'll get into that week by week. This week's will be Florida and LSU. We'll talk about those 2 teams.
If I'm being honest, I didn't look at anybody that plays for them or their schedule other than I know that Tennessee plays both of them this year. That's all I know. I don't know anybody else that plays for them. I know the coaches. Well, I know one of the coaches. I'm not sure. What's Billy Napier? Who's that guy?
I mean, that's a subject for when we hit around the SEC because the lack of social media explosion, I guess.
It's bad. You hate to say it. You got to have it. You got to have it.
I follow every team in the SEC, and so I see Lane Kiffin 40 times a day. I see. You Alabama.
You don't hate the player, hate the game. Lane Kiffin is fantastic at it.
They got to get rid of their PR because he's 2 jobs in one.
Well, his intern.
And you don't see that much hype out of Florida. It's a little weird. We'll get into that. First, though, before any of that, let's get into predictions for Tennessee. You want to talk about these games real quick? It's just a fast thing. Just a fast thing. Before we get into that, let's hear a little word from these guys. All right, welcome back, Tennessee Fan Talk. We're going to jump right into the Vols schedule and make our not way too early predictions.
That's about right time predictions. About right time.
Right time predictions.
Maybe just a little premature. Not like total premature, like you're in 6th grade, if you know what I'm saying. Just maybe like senior high school premature.
Not baseball season still going on, and I do mean collegiate baseball season.
No. The Braves are looking good right now, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Cubs
Cubs are
fan,
not.
and
The Cubs are not.
they're fighting for the cellar. So let's not talk about that. All right, week 1 coming up September 3rd. Tennessee opening at home. Ball State visiting.
Ball.
Yes, Ball.
From the fine state of what is that? Kansas?
No clue. No clue. Don't
Kansas.
care.
I think it's Kansas.
Did we get a dub on that one? Both
Sure.
of us?
Yeah.
Dub? Okay. There's the dub. Second week, we return the favor from last year. We go to Pitt. Head up to Pittsburgh. And, of course, last year started off okay. The overthrows were just absolutely stupid.
I called it.
And
I mean, you don't have to look back at the tape, but look back at the tape. I called it.
Milton overthrowing, Hooker overthrowing. You know, it was not good. Hey, but at least they won the ACC, right?
I mean, if we're trying to give credit to Tennessee fans, we'll give it to them right there.
You know, so
at the end of the day, it's the ACC too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Pitt won their division, and Kenny Pickens ended up, you know, looking good, and I can't remember how well he did in the draft, but he went for the draft.
I mean, he made it. I mean, he got paid. He got paid.
He got paid. So Pitt.
I mean, we probably should win. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not talking about geographically, but like potential. I would take Pitt in the SEC. I would take them. I mean, like geographically, they're not in the South, right? They're not. But money wise, if we're talking money, you know, they've got that market, kind of like Missouri has that South. They got the St. Louis market, right? And St. Louis is definitely not in the South. I'd take them. I'd take Pitt. I'd take them. I'd take them over UVA any day of the week.
What about for the game? I mean, it's
Tennessee's going to win. Tennessee's going to win.
It's a dub.
I got rambling there. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
Hey, the schedule of your events for the past 5 hours is going to make you ramble.
Oh
no, yeah, there you go.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
You know what? I don't know if the fans love what's behind you. They're one of a kind. You know, you say that they're one of a kind.
Both of these are one of a kind. Both that one.
See, I just don't think that they're one of a kind. I think they've been mass produced.
Nah.
And
I know what you're about to do. No.
And you know, just simply because, you know, I picked some up myself.
Copy and paste works well. Hey, I would almost bet that one right there, I might be one of the only. I'd give it 100 or under. Have that signature of Jeff Hall, 98.
The greatness of
that's
98.
Beating Florida. That's Florida. That's when he kicked the field goal to beat Florida. That's that.
Hey, I just want to be like the Duke.
I mean, lots of people do.
I just want to be like the Duke.
Some people hate me, and that's fine.
Week 3, Tennessee coming home, and Akron is coming to town.
I mean, that's in Ohio, I think.
Dub, that would be 3-0 for the Vols starting out. Yep. Do you concur?
Oh, I absolutely concur.
And week four, Florida comes to town.
This is where we differ.
So we did not start off well last year. You know, straight up muffed punt or whatever right in the beginning.
Yep.
I think Tennessee takes them this year. Now, I do have an asterisk as we talk about the next person as well, because one of these two games we may drop. But I think that we can and we will beat Florida. I
mean, I think we can, and I think we probably should beat Florida. But I've been a Tennessee fan since contraception. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I've heard some feller around here saying he's been conservative since contraception, which that's, that's a terrible campaign. But anyway, I've also seen that in my lifetime, Tennessee always 100% of the time plays down to their competition. 100% of the time, they either play up to them if they're better than UT or down. Most of the time. I'm not saying all the time. Most of the time.
Okay.
We don't win.
Got him down for the loss. Got him down for the loss against the Gators, which would make Butch Jones the last coach to beat Florida.
Which is a terrible – I mean, I think we lose by a touchdown. Late in the game, we lose by a touchdown.
Hey, so there's where my asterisk comes in, is because as great and as powerful as they are on offense and how quick they are, I have yet to see this team against a good opponent play 4 quarters.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, I love Heupel. I hope he stays here a while.
Yes.
He's not a defensive guy. Bottom line, he's not.
Well, he got Tim Banks in there, and they've got
I agree.
The problem with that, record that we hold of outscoring opponents astronomically in the first quarter means that your defense was on the field the entire first quarter.
Yeah.
And so I went back, watched a couple games from last season, here and there. I've been watching them. And you see our defense is on the field 45 minutes. So they're tired.
Yeah, understandable. But we've already ran the score up in the first quarter, so the defense doesn't really matter.
They definitely,
you know what I'm saying.
They need to mix it up. 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense, 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense.
I mean, run the 2 the whole time, let's be honest. I mean, score me 100 in the first quarter if they can, and then I'm feeling good. I'm drinking beers afterwards, but...
So after that was our third home game. Then we travel down to Baton Rouge for a little chance at LSU. And continuing with my asterisks, I initially have them down as a win against LSU, but they definitely could fall to them.
Yep.
And then once we hit our overalls there, we'll talk a little bit more about that. What do you have for LSU?
I mean, Brian Kelly, right? First season in, he's trying to show himself. Who does he have first game of the season in the SEC? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. I'm not sure who he plays first game. That should be his second one, right?
I will have that pulled up when we hit the around the SEC. It'll be on.
Sorry.
It'll be on here for everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. But Brian Kelly's trying to make a name in the SEC, coming from Notre Dame.
He's going to start
coming from a Catholic heavy area to another Catholic heavy area. Let's be honest, South Louisiana, French, Catholic. But you got them fellers that spell their last name with X's that sound like O's. You know what I'm saying? So
he's going to have a 50-50 schedule before he meets us. He's going to kick off his Florida State.
That should be a dub because Florida State stinks.
And then Southern U is going to be their, cupcake game. And then Mississippi State
should be a win. So it should be 1-0 in the SEC. It should be 3-0. Let's be honest. It should be 3-0.
And then New Mexico.
And then us.
And then they go to Auburn.
Before us?
And then they play us.
So they have 5 games before us. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, and we have 4. Well, we always – I have to look at the dates, but yes, they do.
We're going to lose.
All that to say, we're going to lose.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's a tough place to play. It should be it'll probably be popping because there's a chance that we both be undefeated at that time, right? There's a chance that we both beat Florida.
There's a chance of that.
LSU's undefeated Saturday night.
Yep.
Baton Rouge, Death Valley, if you want to call it Death Valley. I call Clemson Death Valley. Just because I don't care
I think that'll be a night game, but it is not listed yet.
It's absolutely going to be a night game, especially if they're 4-0, we're 3-0.
Yeah, cue the
it's
CBS
absolutely going to
music.
be a night game.
Cue the CBS music.
Cue the CBS music, which is, that gets any SEC fan hard, if you know what I'm saying. But once again, I think we might
have not seen. Is Gary Danielson the one that
buddy.
Does he work for CBS?
Maybe.
No, you seriously check out, guys. Take a second. If you are not following Matt Mitchell on YouTube, check this out and make sure to watch his SEC videos throughout the year, week by week. Hilarious.
I still think we lose by, I'm gonna say 3.
Oh my goodness, three.
I mean, we're Tennessee, man.
Okay. Well,
we're Tennessee.
After returning from Baton Rouge, we host Alabama. Here's where you and I are going to say the same thing. Big L.
Yeah, I'm not going to say big. We're going to be competitive. We are going to be competitive this year.
We're going to see.
We're still going to lose.
That's a rough one. And with your record thus far, that puts us at 3 wins in a row, 3 losses in a row.
Yep. I mean, I could see it. I'm just being real. I'm being real.
Okay.
I mean, real, son.
Hey,
real, son.
So SEC Media Days just happened, and one thing Heupel said was UT fans need to cool their shorts. He goes, "This is our second year. Do not get your expectations too high.
That is one of the problems.
Are still building.
That's one of the biggest problems of our fan base.
I mean,
because
it is that
they want it to be 1998 for the past 20 years.
Yep, they expect a Saban-ish environment day one. And
Nick Saban is once in a lifetime coach. Yep. We all know it. We all know, and there's nobody out there right now that's a Nick Saban coach. Maybe Heupel's him. He's not it. Bottom line, no. He might be a Johnny Majors.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not a I mean, Alabama just happens to stumble upon. You know what I'm saying? They stumble upon the good guys. They do, and they will pay. They will take the tax dollars from the fine state of Alabama to pay the coach. I mean, I think every state school does that.
I would have to look and see.
Every state school does that, but it's a good joke. It's a good joke.
It is a good joke. I would like to see how much money Alabama makes off their program compared to other schools in the SEC. I'd say Tennessee's up there. Alabama's up there.
Do they get money from the girls that get tramp stamps with the A above their ass crack? Just asking. I'm just asking.
We've got to move on. Next game at home, UT Martin.
It's a win.
They are going to kick their teeth in after potentially coming off of 1 to 2 losses, if not 3. And then Kentucky comes to town. We played at Kroger Field last year, and honestly, we won that game because of a missed face mask to Will Levis.
Who cares? A win's a win.
I mean,
a win's a win.
There was I have to give Kentucky a little bit. There was some bad calls, not in favor of Kentucky. Which
well, it shouldn't have been that way because it was in the third aisle where you get your bacon goods. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day.
So, do you have us winning the Kentucky game?
Kentucky has beat us, I think, 2 times in my lifetime, and I'm going on the age of 34. They might have beat us once. I can't remember. When was the last time they beat us? And do the math real quick. I was born in 1988. I think they beat us twice in my lifetime since 1988.
A couple years ago.
Okay.
2 seasons ago.
I think they've beat us twice in my lifetime.
I'd have to go back and look at
Bring back the beer barrel. Bring back the beer barrel.
After a little 3-game homestead, we go and travel to Athens and face Georgia. I think we both know what we're going to do on that one.
I mean, it should be a loss. Stetson's played quarterback there for 30 years.
That's when Luke Tito on there says, you know, he must. Where's he going to go after this? Transfer to BYU and play for another 20 years?
I think he's already done his. You know, I think he's already done his duty.
We looked that up. What did it say? A redshirt senior.
Yeah. How does that work?
He's played 2 seasons, but somehow he's a redshirt senior.
Good for him, right? I mean,
they're
going to win the national championship again. Obviously, in my humble opinion.
We'll see. We'll see. Come back home for one last time. Senior night is Missouri into town.
It's a win.
Definitely a win against Mizzou.
Yep.
And then we travel to South Carolina.
Win.
Where hopefully we do what we did to them in the
We're
first quarter of last year.
We're going to put Spencer Rattler in a body bag.
That would be, if we could, that would be nice. And then, of course, close it out at Vanderbilt in Nashville.
It's a home game.
If it wasn't so cold and they didn't have such a crappy stadium, I might go to it.
It's a home game.
But
I mean, with global warming, it's not going to be that cold if you ask any Democrat out there. So it's okay. Anybody goes to Vanderbilt, it's okay.
There he goes. There he goes. So you have them at 8-4.
Yep, I think that's very conservative. I think it's good. It's a number that we can go try to achieve better than 8-4, but I'm not going to be disappointed. So 8-4 should be, accepted, in my humble opinion.
I think that we have the potential to win 10. However, I think we will drop either the Florida or the LSU game, finishing us at 9-3.
I mean, I can agree with that as well. I mean, like I said, like Heupel said, we don't need to get our rocks off too early. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. We want to. I mean, the SEC's tough. Bottom line is tough. It's the best. It's the best in the nation. 8-4 is pretty good for a team that has notoriously sucked.
And yes, and
recently,
and in a tough schedule.
And we're going to be honest, Tennessee is not as conducive to recruits as Florida or LSU, somewhere where the weather's warm and the girls are slutty. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line.
There's a lot of our topics that are going to play to why Tennessee has done well with recruits. You talked about the SEC just a second ago. In the expansion, of course, we have Texas and Oklahoma any day now. We don't know how that's going to play out as far as if they're going to buy out the remaining of their contract, or if SEC saying, no, you can't buy out the rest of your contract. We haven't got all of our details. We'll see you in 2025.
That's the move.
So as they move, of course, we'll combine these two here. Pac-12 going to lose 2 with USC, UCLA taking the spots. Who does that leave in the Pac-12? Oregon? That's any good?
Or I mean, we're talking any good? Nobody, but Oregon State.
I like the shiny helmets of the Ducks.
Well, next week they might be mad. You never know what you're going to get.
I like the mad helmets of the Ducks.
I like consistency. Most SEC schools, we want tradition where we're from. Come on now, get your mind right. Tradition.
I traditionally want to go into dark mode every year at some point in time and whoop up on someone.
Okay with dark mode one time.
I like dark mode. And now they say that the ACC there's a couple people wanting to come into the SEC, of course. Clemson.
So. The ACC stinks.
Can you imagine? If you're Clemson, though, same thing with Oklahoma. I get it. It's a money and it's a spotlight and SEC, blah, blah, blah. You lead your division almost every year if you're Clemson. You're not going to do that coming into the SEC. You may win your pod.
Oh, they're going to win the state every year. They're going to beat South Carolina every year.
But, I mean, come on. And then who was was it Florida State? Really?
Florida State and Miami.
That's good.
So the rumor has it's Virginia, which is like Vanderbilt, by the way. And then you have Clemson, good school. Miami, used to be a good school, kind of like UT. Florida State, it's like those 3 teams, UT, Florida State, and Miami were all good back in the day. So you got those teams want to move in. If Virginia wants to move in, they are dumb. And they're supposed to be the smart kids. Well, money-wise, they might be smart. But, I mean, the team that you want from Virginia, as bad as you hate to say it, and I have family members from Virginia Tech, because where I grew up, from Bristol, we're halfway between both.
You're there.
I'm between both. I mean, Virginia Tech's a school you want from Virginia. But,
Real quick, we are 26 minutes in, roughly, on the recording. Our next topic was the Pruitt investigation. Of course, Tennessee did their own internal, right, straight off the bat. They
Smart
found
move.
a
Smart
very,
move.
very, very smart move. Just dumped everybody out that had any dealings with it. Turns out that Casey, Jeremy Pruitt's wife, was making payments on apartments for people and
She's probably sleeping with some
down,
people. I don't know. I mean, that's
down
not
payments.
confirmed.
Parents were taking advantage of the situation, which with how Tennessee handled it, and then maybe them also knowing that the NIL was right around the corner, it's like, what's the NCAA going to do? So all the paperwork is together and has been sent to Pruitt for any type of comeback from him on what he's got to prove otherwise, rather. Which rolls us into our next one, the NIL. Hey, what was great for Tennessee is when Jimbo and Saban were dueling it out over NIL, which essentially means leveling the playing field for everyone to Alabama. Tennessee's got some deep pockets with their boosters and their people who can endorse guys. So while they were arguing, debating, and all that, Tennessee was just rolling them in. I think they got some really good recruits that have committed and much more on the way for future years.
I mean, I'm all for paid players. All for it. Because if you think about it, how much money does a 16 jersey bring into the University of Tennessee? Don't say Manning on the back. Even to this day, there's kids everywhere wearing a 16 jersey. They weren't lucky enough to watch Peyton Manning play at UT. We were. We were both lucky enough to watch him play. I'm all for paying the players. And also on the back end, we know for years we've been paying anyway.
Yeah.
And we just had, it's whoever hasn't got caught. Pruitt got caught, right?
Pruitt got caught.
Okay. I don't hate him for it. I understand the game. Nick Saban never got caught. So you get what I'm saying? I'm all for paying
There just
players.
happened to be a Mercedes missing from the dealership here and there with
Nick Saban paid a guy that paid a guy that paid a guy that paid the quarterback. So, I'm just saying, like, I'm not against paying players. I'm all for it because they bring so much money into the university already. It's kind of unfair to think that these guys shouldn't get money anyway. I'm not real worried about the underwater basket weaving team because they don't bring shit into the university anyway. Sorry, I shouldn't have cussed. They don't bring any money into the university anyway. These guys deserve to get paid. I don't care if they play on the third string. They deserve to get some kind of money back.
I would love to go through the Register of Deeds for the state of Tennessee and see how many new businesses showed up just as the NIL was approved. Like, all these new businesses now that offer endorsements.
I'm all for it. Pay the kids. Pay the kids. Some of them are going to make it to the NFL and they're going to make money. Some of them are not. If they can make it now, give it to them. I'm all for it.
Well, we will paying players and on different schools brings us into our next one, our Around the SEC moment that we'll jump into right after something from these guys. All right, Vol fans, welcome back. We're going to jump into this last segment, the Around the SEC. We're going to do 2 teams a week up until we get into the season, and then we'll just kind of discuss, how games went real quick and see how our picks go from week to week. Starting out this week, Florida and LSU go through their schedule, see if we can make our predictions and see how they hold up for the year. Starting out, LSU.
The Bayou Bengals.
The Bayou Bengals. We already mentioned a couple of their things when we were talking about the Tennessee schedule, but we'll jump into it fully here. Their opener, September 4th, they've already got a time for that at 6:30. Florida State comes to the Bayou. Who wins that one?
I feel like every game in the Bayou's nighttime.
Yeah.
I mean, LSU beats them. Florida State stinks. They haven't been good since
they
Winky.
used to not have.
They stink.
So we both got LSU on the first game.
Yep.
Second game, Southern U. That's easy.
Yep.
LSU.
Who's Southern U?
That's home. No clue.
Utah.
Third. It's that online school in Utah.
Could be.
Mississippi State rolls down to LSU, so that's
win
3 home games in a row.
3-0.
That's September 17th, 5 p.m. So thus far, you're right. 6:30, 5 p.m.
They only play night games in Baton Rouge.
All night games. Maybe it has something to do with the bugs and or the alligators and or the smell during the day when the sun's out.
Or they got to get done. I'm trying to make jokes. They got to get out the bayou. You know, they got to give folks time to travel because they ain't no main roads. They got to get down the dirt roads and the gravel.
Fan boats and all.
Bobby Boucher and all. Fan boats and all. You're right.
So, do you think Mississippi State even? I mean,
they don't even sniff them.
Really?
Leach is out after this year. He's out. He's out. I mean, this is like the best coaching opportunity for Mississippi State they've had in a while since Dan Mullen. And Dan Mullen was like a shock. Leach is out after this year.
I'm going to go upset then.
He's going to go in a psychiatrist after this. He's going to a psychiatrist. He's going into a nut hut after this season. And he's going to go coach for Arizona State.
Well, I can't do his voice because I keep wanting to go to Ed Ogeron, but
he likes raccoons.
But his next job begins with "Welcome to Whataburger."
No, his next head coach job's Arizona State.
So you've got LSU on that one. I'm going to pick the upset with Mississippi State because I just am.
I like it.
Next one, New Mexico visiting LSU again, 6:30.
Dub.
And definitely a dub, LSU.
That's a Lobos.
And I think that's right.
I like that mascot.
October 1st, which we don't have a time. It is at Auburn. And I'm going with Brian Harrison.
Is that in Jordan Hare or Jordan Hare?
Jordan
or Jordan because it's spelled J-O.
Jordan Hare. I'm going Alabama. I'm going Auburn on that.
I agree. Auburn.
Okay.
I agree with that. I agree. It's going to be close, but Auburn's going by 10.
Back to the Bayou hosting Tennessee.
I've already picked that one.
And you've already picked it. You're saying LSU. I'm saying toss-up.
LSU's going
I'm saying depending on how bad we beat Florida and we're on a roll.
I mean, I don't want to talk bad about Hendon Hooker because I like him, and I think he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah, and
a lot of our season depends on what kind of start he gets.
It is.
If he starts throwing a bunch of picks, we're screwed. Bottom line, I'm not saying Tennessee's out of the opportunity to winning that game. They could win that game.
I think he throw 4 picks last year. I'd have to look it up, but.
I'm just saying there's a chance. Much as we throw the ball, the opportunity for a pick's much higher than everyone else. And if he gets on a pick streak, he's going to lose some confidence. It's all about confidence. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him. I mean, even him overthrowing on like a third down, a lot of it depends on what kind of game Hendon Hooker has before we get to LSU.
That's true.
I still think LSU's going to win. I'm saying that hoping we're going to win. So like reverse psychology, I'm telling myself LSU's going to win. That's the bottom line, if we're being honest.
And it's really more like fiance in the other room. Yeah, LSU should win that.
I mean, she is from Louisiana, big LSU fan. At least we're keeping in the SEC family.
That's right. Hey,
that sounds kind of like incest, but
Well, we're not talking about Kentucky yet.
We're not talking about East Tennessee, where I'm from. So,
well, we are talking about East Tennessee.
Eastern, further east.
The Virginia line.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I'm at. Well, where I'm from, not where I'm at.
October 15th. This will cover both of our teams that we're talking about today. LSU will go to the Swamp, and
that's going to be. They play every. That's always a great game.
It is. Always. It is always a good game. And as it sits right now, I pick LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. As we're sitting right now, I pick LSU as well.
And that's one of those things.
Think about that. That's a 6-0 start.
Florida
in
just
my book for LSU. That's 6-0.
Florida either does not have anything to be hype about, or they are being very quiet and they're going to unleash something on the East. Back to the Bayou, October 22nd, hosting Joey Freshwater and company.
I am a firm believer that there's a chance that Ole Miss wins the West this year. I'm on that boat right now.
So there's your pick, and I agree with you.
I trust Joey Freshwater at the end of the day. I mean, coming from a Tennessee fan that's supposed to hate Lane Kiffin, I don't hate the guy. I get it. I mean, dream job opened up back home. You go. I don't hate the guy. Last year, I don't hate the guy.
Dream job. Come on. He held out on his contract to see how much Florida would offer him, or LSU, one of the two last year.
No, I'm talking about his dream job going back to USC after us.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. After us, his dream
job. That didn't last long.
No, I'm just saying I don't hate the guy. I mean, money talks, BS walks.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Freshwater wins. Like I said, I can see him winning the West. Joey Freshwater wins.
Who
do you have, by the way?
Oh, Ole Miss. No, okay. Ole Miss winning that game. Okay. And unfortunately, LSU is going to lose the next game as well. November 5th, they host the Tide. And we all know that is a loss for LSU.
Yep.
They go back on the road November 12th and go to Arkansas, where they probably pick up and get back on a winning streak again.
I don't know. I got Arkansas.
Do you really?
Yep. There's a dark horse. Arkansas beats LSU. Let's be honest. That is one of, if not only, in Arkansas's fans' minds, they got two rivals.
Mm-hmm.
It's Missouri. Mm-hmm. Don't count. And LSU don't even it's like LSU don't even think of them.
That's so many times. It's so hard to stay on topic because that's something that you and I could talk about with rivals. We'll pencil that for next week's show.
Okay.
But
anyway, Arkansas with the dub. Yeah. Arkansas dub.
Because I have so much of that. Yeah, Tennessee rival
Arkansas
stuff. I'm going to stick with LSU on this one.
Okay.
LSU. Then we'll go back home, host UAB, beat the crap out of them November 19th.
Yep.
And then they will finish up November 26th.
A&M.
At A&M.
I'll be honest. A&M's not a perennial SEC school. It's still in my book. So I haven't kept with them. Are they supposed to be good this year?
They were good last year.
They were good. No, I know they were good last year.
Lost their starter, and now I think he's back. As far as quarterback goes, and
so they're supposed to be up there, and they got Jimbo Fisher.
They got Jimbo Fisher.
He's got some experience.
Yep.
LSU will beat him though. You don't think so? I do.
I'm going A&M.
I mean, I think they're spending so much money on Brian Kelly. He's like, damn it, I have to win, or I'm gone. I think he wins.
Swapping over to Florida, we're going to burn through these. Utah at the Swamp for an opening butt whooping. Florida taking that one, yes. And then right off the bat, that's a 6 o'clock game. But the following week, September 3rd, 6 o'clock. I think they're smart in pushing as many SEC games further down in the South into evening.
Even where we're at Kentucky.
Bloody hot.
Even Kentucky, we're on the northern side of the SEC. It's still hotter than dang it outside. It's hotter than the hinges of the gates of hell, is what we say around
some
here.
Of these opening games or second game, whatever, where they have these 11 o'clock start. I don't go to them. I've seen way too many people pass out or heat stroke.
They probably drank too much, if we're being honest.
True, but it's hot. It's hot. So Kentucky going to Florida for this bam.
I think that'll be a good game. Florida should win though.
So last year, Florida beat them.
And Kentucky was supposed to win that one, right?
29-21. No, I'm so sorry. I accidentally rolled and went back 2 years.
Kentucky won.
I feel like Kentucky won because they went 6-0 before meeting Tennessee.
That's every year for them.
No, I'm sorry. They went 6-0, lost to Tennessee. Gave them their third loss. It's coming back. It's coming back. Not prepared. Next game, September 17th, South Florida at Florida. Win. September 24th, Florida traveling to Tennessee.
I mean, I already made that call.
October 1st. Wow, this is really weird that they have this one with a time on it already. October 1st, 11 a.m. Eastern. Is that Washington, WA?
Sure.
Yes, Eastern Washington Eagles.
Dub.
Florida hosting, October 8th, hosting Mizzou. Dub.
I mean, I've got Florida undefeated.
You have Florida undefeated at this time. I've got them with 2 losses. We've already talked Florida LSU game.
Yep.
Next, October 29th. This one already has a time on it. It's 2:30, so I bet you can know what station that's on.
CBS. Is that the world's largest cocktail party?
Florida, Georgia line.
Florida, Georgia.
And that'll be a loss for Florida.
Yeah. I mean, that's the world's largest cocktail party, which is the best name of any college football rivalry in the nation. They don't call it that anymore, but they still call it that.
Oh, you mean Georgia's not Tennessee's rival? That's for another day.
Don't get me on that, because Tennessee, it's not. And on the Tennessee side, it's not.
Oh, November 5th, Florida traveling to Kyle Field, Texas A&M.
Ooh.
Yep. Loss.
Yeah, it's a loss. It's a loss.
Returning home, hosting South Carolina November 12th.
To win.
Back on the road November 19th, going to Cashville, Tennessee to play Vandy.
Does Vanderbilt count?
No. It's just a tune-up game for their in-state
for the bowl game.
For their in-state rivalry game, November 25th, 6:30 p.m. Florida at Florida State.
That's a win.
With a win. So the way we have it, they've lost.
I have lost one.
Or
two. I got 2.
Losing A&M, losing Georgia. And I have them
losing to Tennessee.
Losing Tennessee and Kentucky. Yeah. 8-4.
I've got them, 10-2?
Yeah. We're kind of
Florida guy. I'm a Florida guy.
My goodness. You're all of a sudden a Florida guy.
Luke.
Where's Tito? He's gonna walk in.
I'm not a Florida guy. For
Tears.
The fans
He's gonna give you a hug.
Not.
God,
Florida's my third least favorite team that we play.
Maybe it's because they just get away with an easy schedule this year.
I mean, is it that easy? They play LSU every year.
Yeah.
Every year they play LSU every year.
So they don't play Alabama.
You can't hold that against them. It ain't their fault.
They don't play Alabama.
Okay.
They do play Georgia, so that's
okay. So do we.
They don't play Auburn.
So once again, it's not their fault. So the rival game in the West,
they don't
LSU,
play,
which is a good one.
They don't play Ole Miss.
Okay, we don't either.
We did last year.
I'm not standing up. I'm not standing up for Florida by any means. We don't play Auburn this year either. Just a luck of the draw.
Nope.
I'm just saying, I'm not standing up for them at all. Just calling it like I see it. It's not their fault. It's not like they're turning down a game against Alabama because they have that opportunity to play him. They just don't. They don't play him this year.
I mean,
that's the way it's set up.
It is our schedule. Just going back and look at it, it's
Tennessee's schedule is always one of the hardest in the nation
rough.
every year.
It's 3 games with that second game is always a potential.
Always.
That's all. The second game's always a potential loss, and then you
Always.
go Florida, LSU,
Gauntlet.
Alabama. I think there's a break in between there. Looking
then
at
Alabama.
the dates, and then Alabama break, Kentucky, Georgia, Mizzou, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Which
I mean, the
over
first
the past
Saturday
decade,
in October
you can't
is
leave.
the SOB. If we're being honest, is the son of Biscuit Eater. It's just Biscuit Eater. It's just tough. I mean, that's what we get. It is a logical rival though, because we're so close to each other, state on top of each other. I agree. It's a good rival geographically. It just sucks right now. In the 90s, it sucked for Alabama. Just how it goes.
Yeah.
It just sucks for us right now, bottom line.
Well, that about wraps it up. I think it was a great first episode. If you are interested in joining us in any show, we're scheduled these things out now.
You pick the time. We'll be there.
Just pop us a line wherever you are, social media wise. We are Tennessee Fan Talk at TN Fan Talk. So hit us up, Twitter, YouTube. Since you can, I guess, chat on YouTube now, Facebook, whatever. And let us know. We'll get you on there. In the meantime, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. And go Vols.
VOLS. Go Vols, go.